Darin and Anita on Grand Strand. A music evolution. Now, Darin and Anita with your Grand Strand Artist Spotlight.
Darin and Anita on Grand Strand. And ladies and gentlemen, back to the show we go. And it's our Spotlight interview segment this week. And on the line with Anita and myself from Ken Knox Company, Ken Knox. Ken, how are you, man?
I don't know if it's morning or afternoon where you guys are, but hi, Darin. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
Hi. Listen to Anita. Hi.
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 You sound like she sound like a Valley girl again over there.
Break it down.
You can break it down. Listen to her. Well, I tell you what, Ken, man, tons of stuff that's been going on with you, Ken Knox Company, KCO. And folks, as we get started in the interview, if you'd like to look this up and find out more about Ken Knox, get to their Facebook page, KenKnoxCompany.com. You got to check that out. Because, Ken, I want you to, I've been watching you guys this year, and tons of stuff that's going on out there. I know Chattanooga, and Anita, what else was it that we saw online?
Okay, and I've heard you've done a lot this year.
So, give us a brief a synopsis, I guess, of Ken, what's been going on with you guys?
All right. Well, first, Anita, hey, hello to you. Glad to hear your voice again. Darin, just be quiet.
Always. Okay, I'm hushing.
Here's what's happening. I mean, we have been pretty busy all year, basically. KCO, Ken Knox Company, and the executives. You have to give those guys their props.
For sure.
Because there's no me without them.
Exactly.
Or there's no KCO without them. Early in the summer, we were fortunate enough to be a part of a 10-day festival in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which was headed up by CeeLo Green.
Wow.
Golly, Leonard Skinner, Brandy, even Raleigh's own Nantucket.
Wow.
And so we were very, very fortunate to be a part of it. We received good reviews the next day in the Chattanooga Times or whatever the newspaper is.
Right, there in town.
And it made us feel good because that was a market that we'd never been in, which is Chattanooga, you know, and we were well received. And, man, it was a fun festival, and the promoter emailed me back the next day and said, "You rock."
Well, I'm going to tell you, you know, I've seen some of that stuff online and what folks were saying about you in Tennessee. So you think you're a whole nother state and what folks are saying there about what you have put together and what you guys have put together. You know, you're talking about the executives. It sort of made me think of the Funk Brothers in a way that, you know, you're right. That's your sound, man. So, you know, there is no you without them. And what else was going on this year? I know something else that was big that happened with you guys.
Well, I was a part of a... By me coming from Detroit, I was a part of a Detroit All-Stars concert series in Detroit, which was headed up by Don Was. And if anybody knows anything about Don Was the leader of a band called Was Not Was.
Right, Walking the Dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah, Walking the Dinosaur, that's right. A hecky, funky groove.
It was, no doubt. Anita knows how to walk the dinosaur as well, Ken.
Oh, man, that's great, Anita. You have to show me.
Go ahead, kid.
So, Don Was also is a producer extraordinaire. He produced Bonnie Raitt, Platinum album, Ringo Starr.
Wow.
He also produced Patches on George Jones and B.B. King. In fact, he had asked me that day, how did you in general like my version of Patches? And I told him, hey, man, we loved it. You did a hell of a job.
Right.
So Don Was is a producer extraordinaire. And every year he gives a concert series at a theater in Detroit. And I was fortunate to be a part of it because we were part of a project that Darin, our mutual friend, Drew Schultz had.
Yes.
It was a project called Back to Class. It was a CD that was put out, and Ken Knox Company was a part of it. The Four Tops were a part of it.
It was a big album up there for
that.
It
was. And all the proceeds goes to benefit the music departments in Detroit schools. So,
that's great. Yeah.
So that, I mean, Nita, you know, that's the kind of stuff needs to go around in other cities.
It does. You're right.
You know, so I was, like I said, coming from Detroit, I was a part of that. Man, that was that was one of the highlights of my career.
Right, exactly. And I know you can find some of that online. I know there were some YouTube clips. People in the audience I know had put some stuff up for that. And you can go check some of that. You can see Ken walking out on stage doing his thing. Well, you walked in. I think y'all all sort of sung together something, didn't you? I can't remember what was in the
Stood
clip.
up there and clapped our hands.
and Ken was trying to walk the dinosaur.
There you go.
I'm kidding.
There you
Well,
go.
Ken, I was fortunate enough.
Well, let me say something.
Go
for
ahead,
a
Anita.
second,
I know you
Darren.
got to
Yeah,
quiet me down.
Let Nita go.
I heard that Ken, you and Darin were at the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, Darin was my guest.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say something else, but yeah, he was my guest, and we were guests of the Shoe Show Company,
Exactly.
and they invited us, and I was able to meet one of my idols, which is Willie Weeks,
Wow.
and Willie Weeks is bass player extraordinaire. I mean, he tours
No doubt.
with Eric Clapton, Vince Gill. You know, that was a good night, and Darin was there because his idol Rick Dees was there.
Was there. It was awesome to
Wow.
me. I know Anita didn't get it, and I told Anita.
Yeah, he told me later. He knew I'd be angry with
But
it.
next year we're going. We done said we're going. Ken's done invited us with him, so we get to go with the big dogs.
Oh,
see,
wow.
we're running. No,
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Ken, I tell you, it was incredible over there, and I'm going to tell folks while we got you on the line too, is that the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame is a lost gem in North Carolina, man. It's an incredible place, and you need to go over there and check it out in Kannapolis, North Carolina, if you've never been.
I'm telling you, you'll learn more things that you didn't know about as far as contribution
Incredible.
music world from the artists and writers and producers that came from North Carolina.
A lot of history, huh?
Anita, I've been telling you about it. It's incredible to go over there and see. You just don't realize how much came from North Carolina in the music. And I'm talking producers, writers, and all that kind of thing. So, well, Ken, let's get to this. This is the new thing. This is big, man. This is because Anita.
I know. I finally heard it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
I heard it.
And when it came out of the box, man, it like came out with a bullet.
It's booming.
I'm going to tell you, Ken, and what we're talking about, folks, is the new song, the new release, I'm Ready, Willing, and Able. Ken, tell us about the song. How did that come about, man? Incredible groove.
Well, thank you. Well, people always think that, or they have thought for years that we never did anything contemporary. We meaning General Johnson, Danny Woods, and
Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board. But we stayed true to our music, which is considered Carolina Beach music. I was listening to the up-and-coming artists today like Bruno Mars, Daft Punk, and even Robin Thicke.
Right.
I noticed they were reaching back, getting that old sound and incorporating it into contemporary sounding songs. So I said, hey, I need to do one like that. And as a result, this is how I'm Ready, Willing, and Able came up. And I'm feeling that people are loving this groove and loving the song. As you said, Nita said she loved it. She just heard it for the first time today. And but that's what inspired me to do it. And then my background of sitting side by side with General.
Yeah, for sure.
All these years, his inspiration was in me. Also, the inspiration of Motown and Invictus Records. I mean, these are the sounds I heard growing up in Detroit. So, when you feed a steady diet of this kind of stuff, something's got to come out.
Yeah, that's right.
Anita, Ken, the story is always, you are who you're around. So if you're hanging out with whether it's a positive person, a music influence, or whatever it is,
right,
you're soaking that in whether you realize it or not a lot of times.
That's right. And hey man, my mentor and friend and brother was General Johnson, no doubt about it. Everybody knows that. And he influenced me heavily on this song.
Well, I'm going to tell you, a very talented man there, General was, and no doubt about that. And you taking up and going on with this, because I'm going to tell you, you was out last year, and, you know, Ready, Willing, and Able, Ken, it's just amazing, especially with you. You know, when that song came out and it took off and hit the charts and everything, and I'm thinking, this is your first time, man. This is your first, you're writing it, putting the music down to it and all this, and then I'm Ready, Willing, and Able coming up next, and you know, of course, Carolina Shuffle out there as well, which is and it's a whole.
I shuffle every day.
and it's a whole different sound than that, and it's just incredible. And you know, Anita and I wish you much success, and Ken Knox and Company, the executives, you guys going forward, because man, it just doesn't seem to stop for you, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule today. I know you've got meetings, and you were telling us about you got to get to, but thank you so much for coming on the air with us, telling us about everything that's going on. It's exciting for you, man. Exciting.
Well, let me tell you what's coming up.
Hit us real fast.
What's coming up is 2014 is right around the corner. The next step for us, KCO, is we're going to release finally an album, because
All right.
Cool.
you know, I have two talented guys beside me, Thomas Hunter, Richie Figueroa. They have feelings that they want to
express.
There you go. So the next thing for us for 2014 will be a new KCO project, will be a full album, and we're very excited about it.
That excites me. I'm excited.
I know.
Oh, wow. Well, y'all need to call me more. Anyway. Hey, listen, I enjoyed you guys, and keep up the great work. Hey, and I may see you now in the Cammy.
That's right. You know,
yeah.
Carolina Beach Music. I've heard that Ken's going to be down there. He's going to do that hobnobbing thing. I think he needs to take us to dinner, Anita.
I think
Got
so,
it.
yeah.
McDonald's all the way.
Ken, thank you so much, man. And let's just go ahead, and here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the new song. Ken, give it to us, man.
I'm ready, willing, and able. Got to fight for your love.
All right, fight for it.
Can't nobody love you like I do, girl.
Darin and Anita on Grand Strand. A music evolution.